So this week I got to speak with the amazing Chris Marr, founder of the award-winning Content Marketing Academy. Now Chris is an industry leader. He does some pretty awesome things all over the interwebs, none less than spending 25 minutes with us sharing some huge ideas on the way we run our businesses and how we can use content marketing to create better customers through helping rather than selling. There was some serious value bombs dropped in this one, so you might want to grab a notepad and pen. Do reach out to either Chris or myself afterwards and let us know how you get on with it. Let us know what your biggest takeaway is. I hope you enjoy. Here we go. Well, hi Chris, welcome to my first interview. Week 2 because I messed up the first one.
This is your first interview?
This is.
Wow. Well, the pleasure's all mine, Chloe. Thanks very much for having me on.
Thank you for joining. I'm really, really excited to have this chat about content marketing because I feel like it's one of those buzzwords that are thrown around and people don't really know what it means. It's kind of like, oh, that's another thing I should be doing. But what is it? I don't know. So that's, I guess, my first question to you. How would you define content marketing?
Yeah, it's no surprise to you probably. It's the most popular question we get asked. So it's funny, you're right. People probably heard of content marketing. They've probably heard someone even speak about content marketing before. They may have read it in a book. They may have seen it online. They've probably read a lot, there's lots of blog articles out there about it all. And it's generally and widely misunderstood, what it actually is. And especially if you're in the small to medium enterprise kind of space, the SMEs, you got to figure out what this thing is, right? And I guess one of the things, Chloe, is that a lot of people think it's a tactical thing or this new way of marketing. That's what people think it is. It's kind of like email marketing or social media marketing. It's like a thing, if you know what I mean, like a new thing that you do. But in reality, it's actually much, much more than just a blog article or a podcast or a video, for example. It's much more than just those things, right? Those are the mediums that we communicate on these days, right? So, as a sort of like underpinning context in this whole thing, if you're not creating blog articles, videos, and podcasts, then you absolutely need to be. Absolutely need to be creating a rich source of content, something that educates and teaches your audience. It's not about your products and services, right? That's the absolute key. So a good example of this would be the pre-call that we just had with Chloe. Well, I just had with Chloe, and Chloe said to me, "What would you like to promote today, Chris?" And I said, "Nothing, actually. I'd like to just have a really valuable conversation so that whoever's listening to this or watching this learns something, maybe." Right? That's the key. So it's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with my products and services, and everything to do with the people that are listening to this, which we would call our audience, right? And a lot of people would call them our customers, but they're not our customers yet, they're our audience. So there's something else happening here with this whole content marketing thing, and it's not just about the video or the podcast or the blog. It's much more about the message and how you are actually going to the market, right? So one thing I mentioned already is it's not about your products and services. It's the difference between selling and helping, right? So instead of selling to people and trying to promote your services all the time, you're actually going out there, whatever platform it might be, whatever medium it is. It could be Facebook posts, it could be tweets, it could be video, podcast, blogs, whatever. You're going there to help, right? And when you help, you're specifically going to be answering questions or solving problems, especially if you're focused on your clients and the customers that you're trying to serve. You'll know what problems and questions they have, and you want to go out there with your knowledge, your skills and experience and to help more people. Don't get me wrong, it's massively about getting customers, it's massively about business growth and sales, but you're doing it in an entirely different way. So I can give you an example of a recent conversation I had. It was yesterday, actually. Someone got in touch with me and said, "Hey Chris, we're really struggling with social media. In fact, social media is the thing that's holding us back." Now, as soon as it was literally a one-liner, "Could we grab a call?" I was like, "Let's grab a call, fine." But I knew before that call that social media isn't what's holding them back. It's not social media that's holding them back at all. And I haven't looked at their social media page, I haven't looked at their website, I've never heard of the company before, I've never even spoken to the person, but I know that that isn't it. So my suspicions were confirmed that they're going out there to Facebook and using social media to tell everybody about how great their products are. We make the best smoothies. We've got the best crepes. We've got the best cafe. We do this. We do that. And that's the problem. That's what's holding them back. It's not Facebook. It's not social media. It's not any of that. It's the way in which they're going to market. It's the messages that they're sending out there. That's the problem. That's content marketing. It's the philosophy behind your message that's the key. So you could do it all wrong. You could do blog posts, videos, podcasts, social media, and a sales type approach, right? That's not content marketing. That's sales. Content marketing is the difference between selling and helping. Like I said, it's the difference between, this is again reflecting on the conversation I had with this gentleman yesterday, this business owner yesterday, is that instead of going out there telling people what you do, find a way that you can go to the market and show people what you do, right? So instead of saying we've got the best crepes in the world, do some videos showing people how to make the best crepes in the world, right? Or instead of saying we've got the best smoothies, or we're the only cafe in the 50-mile radius that makes smoothies, do some videos about teaching people how to make the best smoothies, right? That's the way to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense. And I love that. Show them rather than tell them. Because then they can feel the benefits and you don't have to try so hard to.
Exactly. It's like, it's a totally different approach, and most people don't see it. So I literally had a 30-minute call with this guy yesterday. It was for a friend. I just said, yeah, I'll jump on a phone call with you. And by the end of it, he was like, it's like a revelation, like a completely different way of doing it. It's subtle, but completely distinct in the way that you get your message out there. Now, a lot of people, Chloe, will say, why would I go out there and help people when I want them to buy from me? That's what they say, right? So why would I spend all my time, like today, why would I spend my time telling you all about content marketing when it's exactly the thing that I get paid to do? Why would I do that? And that's the biggest thing you need to get over with this whole thing, is that you're building trust, you're building a relationship with people, and over a long period of time, you build loyalty, which trumps everything in business. If you can get someone to see you as the only person, or the only cafe, or the only place that they want to go, or the only person they want to get information from, that trumps absolutely everything. There could be another 5 cafes come into your space in that space of time, and they don't care. They just want to go to you. So that's the whole purpose of this whole thing, is it's to see past this short-term results of just selling and getting traffic or getting people into your cafe or your shop. It's to see past all of that to relationships and trust and advocacy and loyalty through teaching, through helping, and through just generally just being, just great at what you do, right?
Yes, it seems like it's, when you're focused on this, it's more about what's the core message you want people to share, what's the story you want people to tell long term, instead of focus on those short term gains. And one of the things that you said, and I know you say this quite a lot, 2 things. First thing, if you're not creating content, you don't exist. I love
exactly. Okay, yeah.
The second one was this whole idea about you're actually teaching. That's what your role is. Your role is of being a teacher, and your tagline for Content Marketing Academy is create better customers. Mm-hmm. I think that those 2 things tied together are huge, because I know, like in my business, and I'm sure in everybody's business, we hear these complaints of my customers don't get it. They don't understand all the work that's being put into this. They don't understand why I have to charge this amount. And I think there's a really, really strong lesson to be learned from small business owners in taking on the role and responsibility of being a teacher and using content marketing to educate their customers and create better customers for themselves. Yep. Also build up this community who does value what they do because you value them.
Yeah. So someone has to give first, right? So typically in business, when you look at businesses, they think that you, the customer, should be spending money with them first before they give value to you. Content marketing is the exact opposite of that, right? We are giving first. We're the ones that are giving. We're starting the conversation. We're out there adding value all the time. And because of that, they want to do business with us, right? It's the exact opposite of what we're used to. We're used to people interrupting us with all their adverts and all the rest of it, saying bye, 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 bye. And what we're saying is that, hey, we're here when you need us, right? That's it. And when we're talking about if you're not creating content, you don't exist. I say this all the time, and just to give a little bit of context around why I say that, is that people don't know who you are, right? They've never heard of you before. They're not typing your name into Google. They're not typing your business name into Google. That's not how they find you to begin with, especially if they've never heard of you before. I know this sounds really obvious, but it's kind of like a light bulb moment for most people when they think, well, why can't I find why is our website not on page 1 on Google for like our business name? And if it's not on Google, it's not on the first page of Google for your business name, there is a problem. But that's not what people are typing into Google when they've never heard of you before, because they don't know your name. So you need to think about, well, what are people searching for online? What are they looking for? What questions are they asking? What problems do they have? What solutions are they looking for? That's where the magic is with content marketing, and that's why you don't exist online to people, because they're not typing in your name. They're typing in a question or a problem. And if you're not creating content that answers questions and creates solutions for problems on videos and podcasts and blogs, and you're being a teacher, which is what we talk about, then they won't find you. They'll find someone else. They'll buy from someone else because of that, right? That's how it works. It's how it works. We call it zero moment of truth. 70% of the buying decision is made online before someone ever contacts you for the first time. If you don't have the content there, you're losing customers that you never even knew that you had the chance to get, right? That's why that is a big issue. And the whole thing around creating better customers, Chloe, is a great piece. That it was kind of like a light bulb moment even for us, right? That when you're creating all these blogs and these podcasts, I mean, the thing is, right, to cut through the BS, it's really, we don't want every client. We don't want every customer. We want customers that love us, that understand what we do. We want, if you're in a business services like we are, we want clients that actually want to work with us, that get our philosophy, that understand us. And that whole relationship is just a completely different thing. You go from trust and confidence, that's what you really want. And we've all been in the place where we've got bad customers, bad clients, and we know why. They don't trust us. They're suspicious about what it is that we do. They've been ripped off in the past, and it's our job to take them from suspicion to confidence, or distrust to trust. And we do that through our content over a long period of time. You can't measure trust. There's no set rules on how long it takes to build trust. All I know is that if I can get content out there, and every single piece of content that I create is to build trust, then over a period of time, that trust will form. They want to do business with us, and not only that, they want to stay with us for a long time, and they want to tell other people about what it is that we do too, right? So I'm giving first with intention that hopefully, it's not about hope, I know it works, that in time they will want something from us at some point, right? That's how it works. But we don't want every type of customer, neither do you. You listen to this call or watching this call, neither do you. You don't want every customer. You want the best type of customers. So you can use your content to help them understand how that you work, why they would want to work with you, your philosophy, your ideas. You share all of that stuff, and they get a really good feeling. They're reading your content or watching your videos, and they'll go, actually, you know what, I really like Chloe. I'm going to give her a call. I'm going to go and see what she's all about. I'm going to contact her for the first time. And I've read all her content, I've watched all her videos, and I really like her. That's what we want. We don't want people picking up the phone saying, I'm looking for social media marketing help in the area. Can you help me? You don't want that. You want someone phoning and say, hey, Chloe, I really love what you're doing. I've been watching your videos for ages, and I think you could really, really help us. That's what you really want. That relationship's been built at scale because of your content. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things you said there is in time as well, because it takes a lot of work, and you need to be patient with this stuff. I know that a lot of people, same with social media, they will say, okay, well, I tried it. And it's like, how long did you try it for? I tried it for a few weeks. It's like, it doesn't work. So say someone does watch this and they're like, yes, I get this. I want to do this. But the first hurdle is always the hardest, right? Getting into that pattern of consistency and doing the work and trusting that this, because you have to commit to it. This mentality can't be like, oh yeah, I kind of half believe in this. You have to go all in on it. So how would you say, like for a small business owner in particular, how would you started? Because the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to want to be everywhere, and then they're going to get overwhelmed, and then they're going to want to give up because they're not getting the results and they haven't been paid. Okay. So how would you approach that?
Right. How long have we got? I'm kidding. Right. The first thing is that it's I think you recognize that they are, like you said, I tried it, it didn't work, right? This isn't something you try. This is something that you do forever, right? This is not a thing. It's the way that you do business. This is the way that you do business congruently at all times. That's it, right? So first of all, it's cultural, it's philosophical, it's who you are, it's who your business is. That's it. There's no other way, right? That's the first thing. So you embrace this philosophy, and that just takes over everything, okay? That's the first thing. So it's not about trying, it's about embracing a different way of doing business, a better way of building your business, right? That's the very first thing. As soon as you get that, right, as soon as you understand it and you've embraced it and you're willing to give this a really good shot, like go all in on it, as you said to Chloe, everything will change for you. I can guarantee it, right? It just works. And I'm going to share a story with you as well, if that's okay, on this. You'd mentioned time, effort, and patience, right? You want to change your life in any way, shape, or form, it takes time, effort, patience. I'm talking about content marketing. You could be talking about trying to change your health. You could be trying to be a better dad. You could be talking about training your dog, right? You don't do it on a Sunday. You do it every day. If you're training your dog, you do it for a small amount of time every single day for a long time, right? That's how you train a dog. That's how you get better. That's how you get fitter. That's how you get everything in life improves over time. But you don't train your dog, for example, and expect him to be an obedient dog the next day, do you? You know, you don't expect that. Same thing as well when you're starting a business. I hope you don't expect customers just to come flooding in as soon as you establish your business. It doesn't work like that. You had some faith, you had some belief in yourself that you were able to do this and achieve this. And you kind of need that with content marketing as well. You need belief and faith that this stuff works. Either that you've seen it or you've heard this call and you're like, actually, I believe. I have the faith that it works. I know I'm talking about belief and faith here like we're a preacher, but to be honest with you, that's what it really takes. You need to believe that it works. And if it's all that you're doing, if you're only going to spend a few hours a week marketing your business, I highly, highly recommend that you do it in this way, because it's an investment in your business. You're creating assets for your business. Instead of going into Facebook and doing the sales messages, creating a blog article or a video, it's way more powerful over the longer period of time. And you're creating something for your business that I would call an asset, something that you own that increases in value over time. Okay, so there's that. So you come up against these barriers and all these challenges, right? Life gets in the way. It really does. All I know is this: consistency is the key and the secret to everything. You take small, smart steps, you make small, smart decisions, and you do that consistently over a long period of time, and you get radical results from it. It's just the way it is in everything. Playing guitar, playing the piano, running, getting fitter, creating content. It's the same thing. Building a business, it's the same thing. So you have to put the time and the effort and the patience into anything that you love and anything that you want to be known for. Anybody that's successful in anything has put time and effort and patience into this whole thing, and they never give up. Right? It just doesn't matter. And this is why I want to get away from like just talking about content like it's it's just a thing that you have to do to build your business. It can't just be that. It has to be much, much more than that. And it is much, much more than that. So the time, effort, and patience is absolutely key. I've seen it. Consistency is the key to this whole thing, especially when you're just starting, because you build the habits. You've got to learn a lot. Technology, websites, videos, all of that stuff. You've got to learn all of that. And you get massive, you get better at it. You become a technology whiz by doing all of this stuff too. So you learn a lot. Story for you, right? Just to give you the small picture and the big picture on this, right? I'm going to share a story with you if that's okay, Chloe.
Of course.
Cool. So the one person I want to talk about is Kate Mcquillan, right? If you were sitting next to Kate in a cafe, you wouldn't have a clue about what I'm about to talk to you about, because she's very unassuming. She's like everybody. She's just a normal person, right? She embraced content marketing is what we call it, but really she embraced a better way of communicating with our customers and our potential customers about 4 years ago. She started a dog walking business. There was about 4 people in the business. I don't know how many employees she's got just now, but when I spoke to her last year, when I got some updated statistics, she had over 60 people in her business, right, about 4 years on. So she found out about content marketing and the whole philosophy of being a teacher and helping your audience and creating content that helps rather than sells, right? And she just embraced it. She said, you know what? this looks like it was going to work for me. I think it's working. I run a pet sitting company in Ireland. I'm going to do this. She wrote 3 articles every single week, and she still does 3 articles every single week. We're now into 4th year or something like that. Almost 700 articles on her website. That's 700 extra pages on her website as a result, right? A 450% growth in traffic and revenue. Now, if you speak to Kate, she'll say this as well. And say, how do you get started? I just believed that it worked. Right? You have to believe that it worked. She just believed it. She heard the story. She did a bit of research. She's not stupid because she's very, very smart. She's a smart lady. She knows what's going to work and what doesn't. And she did it, and it worked for her. Okay, and this is just one of many. Like, I could share dozens of stories with you on this. The reason I want to share Kate's story is that I want to tell you that it works from a level where you would expect it to work, as in she grows her business, she gets more sales, more income, more traffic, blah blah blah. Right, the stuff that we're all looking for. But let's look at the bigger picture with Kate. So she gets some success in her business. Other pet type industry businesses are like, actually, Kate, you could probably help us build our business too. So she started a media company to help other pet sitting companies to build their businesses, right? Based on the principles of which she built hers, right? So she's using content and social media to do that and help them. So Kate does that. Then I interview her on my podcast, right? Just to put it into context, pet sitting company in Ireland. She's being interviewed on my podcast as an authority in content marketing space. She was mentioned on Marcus Sheridan's podcast a few times. She spoke at our conference in 2014. She did another talk at our conference in 2016, right? It was a much bigger conference. There was 40 people at our first one, 120 at our third one. So big deal for Kate, doing a proper sort of like keynote presentation. And she is now franchising her business across Ireland as well. It's way bigger than what she even expected from writing 3 blog articles a week for 4 years. That's the small picture and the big picture for what Kate did, right? That could happen for you. It can happen. It's amazing where that journey can take you. So I just want you to see that it's much more than just a blog article. It's much more about how you go to market and your staying power and your consistency and your commitment to a better way of building your business.
Yeah, it's huge. Reps build muscle, right? Reps build muscle.
Exactly.
I think one of the key points you said, and I know you brought up really about the faith and the belief in all of this, but it almost is like a religion because you have to commit to it like that. It's who you are and it's who you become and how you view the world and what you give to the world as well. So I think that's kind of like an important point. But everything you shared was amazing. If you had to sum it up in like a tweetable kind of quote thing, what would be the core message that you would want to leave people watching this video or listening to?
That's a tough one. I think that, and it's important that we get this across actually, that, I think that when we talk about content marketing, there's loads of ways to build your business, Chloe, right? There's just 1,001 ways to grow your business. Content marketing isn't perfect, right? But it's better. It's a better way to build a business. And I think it's really to cut through all. It's about seeing that you don't have to be a slimy sales type of person, type of business. And I think you've got to think about what you want your business to be recognized as or be seen as or be known for. And I think that if you can go to the marketplace and be represent there as a real person with personality and people think you're nice and you're there to add value, then I don't think you can go wrong with that. I'm not a sales guy. And so this comes really, really natural to me. So I think if it was tweetable, it'd be content marketing is a better way to build businesses, basically, something like that.
Perfect. Awesome. Oh, one last question, because I have to ask this. If you were given a superpower, would you choose
superpower
speed, so you could speed up everything and do things really quickly?
Okay.
Or would you choose to have only 90 kids from the UK will understand this, but Bernard's watch, where you could stop time or slow down time? What would you choose?
What would I choose? I would choose to slow things down a little bit, I think. That'd be my preference. Everything's just moving way too fast. So I think we should slow down a little bit. It'd be great to just smell the roses a few, yeah, that'd be my preference.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. There was so much goodness crammed into this interview.
You're welcome. I talk quite fast, so sorry about that. I might have to listen back to it a few times.
I'm Scottish, so I feel like I would understand it anyway, and I talk so fast, so it's probably not a good judge. But sounded great to me, and thank you so much once again. Where can people follow you or find you on social if they want to connect with you further? I know you're huge, pretty much everywhere.
I mean, if you want to connect with me, if you've got any questions, any thoughts, any ideas about the stuff that we've talked about, or any feedback, the best place to get me is on Twitter at Chris Marr 101. That's the best place to get me. But if you just type Chris Marr into Google, you'll find me. No problem at all. Yeah, totally keen for people to get in touch, and yeah, just totally reach out, ask questions, connect, whatever. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thanks, Chloe. Thanks for having me on, especially on your first one. I really appreciate it, and good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, and right back at you. Back to you.
Thank you.